Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to STG Weekly episode number 100. I cannot believe I'm even saying that. Um, we have a full house today, plenty of guests here to talk about Blue Revolver. Joining me for hosting duties are, I'm sorry, I'm Softdrink117. Joining me for hosting duties are Frenetic. We also have Cream in here for moral support and because she's cool.
What is up, all you awesome people? Thanks for sticking with us for 100 episodes.
Then returning for I don't even know how many times now is Jamers, super player extraordinaire.
Hey guys, I'm here too, still. Thanks for having me again.
And then we have the game's developers as well. The lead programmer and game designer, Danbo.
Hello, I'm Danbo. Hi.
Okay. And the game's artist, Woof.
Yeah, it's really good.
What was that?
He clearly said what's really good.
All right, fine. I can deal with that.
Yep.
So, today we are here to talk about Blue Revolver, which is a not quite released, independently produced shoot 'em up for PC, Mac, and Linux.
Yes.
And this has been in development for how long now? Almost 2 years, you said?
On and off for
I'm
about 2
super
years
excited about
now.
this game.
Yes.
So I'm super excited about this game. I'm incredibly happy to be having this episode, and I am absolutely blown away by the fact that it is 100 episodes now. It's I mean, admittedly, it's been a while since I've been on myself, so I'm really glad to be here. But yeah, let's take it away. Let's talk about Blue Revolver. And for those of you in the chat, thank you so much for bearing with us. I know we've had some delays starting up this stream, but really appreciate your patience.
Yeah, so Blue Revolver is one of those weird bullet games called shmups. You might have heard of them before. The aim that we're trying to go for here is to try and mix a sort of cave style game with a rising style game, but ultimately influences from about every shooter I've ever played have sneaked into it. Another design goal of the game was to try and make something that was quite sort of accessible for beginners as well. So hopefully, if you've got that one weird friend that doesn't play shooters, you can say, maybe try this. But we'll find out.
I like that. The one weird friend that doesn't play shooters. That's
Yeah.
good.
Everyone's out drinking and talking about gender representation in Espagaluda, and he's just sitting alone by himself.
Please.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, there we
They're
go.
talking about all the latest and hottest shmups that are coming out.
Yeah, got to get on those waifus. Ah.
But remember, don't have more than one waifu. Having more waifu will destroy your waifu.
Oh boy. All right. Cool. Yeah. So, this game, this is really pretty cool. So you've been, let's see now. We have a couple things coming up here. We have the super play from Jamers. We have a mission mode to talk about, which is a new feature since the last demo of the game. And we have a full clear of the Okay. Hello. sound is dead. Hello. Oh, wait. They can hear me. They can hear me, but nobody else. Can anyone hear anyone else? Oh boy.
Are we still live?
Yep.
Okay, well, apparently I'm the only one who can be heard right now. So I will serenade the
Yes,
audience
hi.
with my
Actually,
beautiful voice. Or not.
Frenetic should get desktop Discord because the web client is notoriously bad for voice chat. Yes.
Hi, I'm here. Yes.
Oh, people are back.
I have to say, for episode 100, this is probably the best possible outcome that could have happened.
Yeah, we're good for about 2 seconds.
All right.
Okay, what was I talking about?
Are we restarting or are we just gonna go with it? All right,
Go with
let's
it.
go. Let's go. Whoa!
Let's get this show on the road.
All right. So
So-
we were talking about the different gameplay modes.
Right. So you've got the standard gameplay mode, which is an arcade sort of 5-stage clear, and that has 3 difficulty settings. So you've got normal mode for normal people, which doesn't apply to anyone in the chat, hopefully. You've got hyper mode, which is the sort of standard difficulty, and you've got parallel mode, which is which locks it to the highest it can sort of dish out, and has a few other extras on top of that. So the game has quite a sort of a slightly different rank system to what you might be used to, and we'll hopefully talk about that later. And alongside that, we've got a missions mode, which has 24 different single-stage challenges, which is mostly intended for people that might not be so confident with full clears of the game. But there's also some stuff in there for veteran players.
Yeah, I was playing around with the missions a little bit last night. There's a pretty good variety. I mean, there's some stuff that's clearly just aimed at learn to survive, learn how to do the breaks, that kind of thing. But then you have the intentional invisible bullets, which is always pretty amusing to see, and things like the Matador mission where there's this large bullet chasing you around the whole time. Really, it makes it pretty interesting. It's kind of a fun twist on the game.
Yeah, we'll hopefully show those if someone's computer doesn't blow up before then.
Frenetic, we're not hearing the game audio.
Oh, game
This
sound
is
on now.
hyper mode, by the way.
Yeah, so we're currently watching a clear recorded by Danbo of the hyper mode, which, as you mentioned, has dynamic difficulty, and you say it's a little unique. Would you care to share some more information about that? Because I'm actually quite curious how the difficulty works in this game.
Yeah, sure. So the game has basically 5 difficulty levels that it can adjust between on the fly. If you look up at the top of the game, you'll see a small bar increase. And when that fills up, it'll progress to the next difficulty level, and the color of the bar is the difficulty setting. So blue is level 1, green is level 2, yellow, orange, red, and so on. So as you progress, as you survive, as you score, it'll climb up higher and higher. And if you die, it'll drop by at least 1 level. So we're kind of billing this as a dynamic difficulty setting, and hyper is where you see that most in effect.
Yeah, and scoring especially raises it a lot faster than just surviving normally.
Yeah, I've noticed that in particular, and it has a pretty dramatic effect on the gameplay. I mean, the bullet density seems to increase dramatically, and you even see different patterns than you would otherwise. unless I'm
Yeah,
mistaken.
different elements of the bullet patterns will appear with different rank settings.
Yeah, it's a bit different than normal rank, what you're used to. It's more like it switches difficulty once you reach a certain point.
Yeah, and that's something I really found interesting about it is like, you know, the normal mode, which is like the lowest difficulty, and parallel mode, which is like the highest difficulty. When you're playing in Hyper, you'll kind of see both depending on, you know, how well you're doing, how often you're dying, how much you're scoring, that kind of thing. Which is
so
great to have that kind of a range.
yeah, so normal locks it to the lowest of the difficulty settings, and parallel just locks it to the highest the game can dish out.
Yeah, no, it's pretty neat that there's so much variety just from the one rank system.
It's kind of funny because if you're scoring very well, the game is probably going to be locked at the highest difficulty all the time. Kind of similar like parallel mode.
Well, you also have to kill yourself to get more resources, so it kind of balances itself out.
Yeah, for a tiny bit, it's a little less difficult. That's about it, I think. Because it raises quite quickly once you start scoring again.
That's something that I find I really like about the game is that it is kind of encouraging you to kill yourself and use your resources. You know, there's points where you have to bomb strategically or you have to suicide strategically that make it in a lot of ways more like a Rising game, which is super cool. And yet you also have a lot of bullet density and patterns which are in a lot of ways more emblematic of the Cave style. I think it's a pretty unique combination of the two.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going for. And in terms of you know, suicide using your resources, I don't really like scoring systems where you're encouraged to save everything. I like, you know, being incentivized to use everything at my disposal. So, you know, use all your bombs wherever you want. They can be used for scoring or defense. And if you run out of bombs, you can fly into something if you need to, and you'll get a few more bombs and some more special ammo, that sort of thing. So yeah, just use everything you've got.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely like that a lot. I also think it's quite interesting that you don't have stage end bonuses in the way that you would see in a lot of other games. You know, here, the stage end bonus is basically a tally of what did you accomplish during the stage. And then
Yeah,
that's it. You're not really adding anything on top of that. Which is, it's interesting. It's kind of like pure in a way. It's fun.
I remember early on, like really early on in development, before we released the first demo, I kept asking Dambo, I was like, are you gonna add like you know, extra bonuses during the results screen? Are you gonna add this to the results screen? Are you gonna add that to the results screen? And he just kept like shooting me down constantly.
Well, that's what you're meant to do when you're developing a shmup.
Yeah.
I should probably talk about the scoring system as well.
Yeah,
so
I was going to lead into
the
that.
scoring system is called the flourish system, yeah? So you can probably see it already on the footage here, but the idea is that you build up a sharp chain, 8 hits, just small trash enemies, and then you use the special weapon on big enemies, and you get up to an X64 multiplier. So it's just about using those alternately and finding good opportunities to take advantage of a special weapon. Bombs also come into that slightly. And as for bosses, you've got the break system, where you're incentivized for destroying bosses in kind of unique ways. So, for example, the first mid-boss, you destroy both the wings in quick succession, that sort of thing. And that's sort of inspired by, like, Raiden Fighter's Jet.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a couple other breaks that are a little more unique. Like the cloud stage that we just saw, stage 3, you have a break there for killing 81% or more of the enemies in a certain section, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting. You have these sort of hidden conditions. It reminds me in a lot of ways the special bonuses in Einhander, where you have certain things that are kind of hidden that you have to do in order to score, which I always thought was quite fun.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of variety between the different kind of breaks, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, it keeps it mixed up, and some of them, even the ones that should be easy, are pretty challenging to do. Like I know exactly how to do the first break on the stage 1 boss, but I cannot do it consistently to save my life. It's terrible.
Yeah, I've tried to. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just saying, people are saying that, like, your use of color in this game is very like personally recognizable? Like this is your style.
Oh, I don't know. Should I let Dambo finish first, or before I go into that?
Go ahead.
or-
Go ahead.
All right. Well, the palette for this game is actually not my own. I used it from what's his name? Dawnbringer. It's his 16 color palette. I think it's quite a bit well known within like pixel artists at this point. It's been out for a very long time, but I only started using it for this game in particular because I was very curious to see how it would look in effect. We obviously used more colors than just 16 colors here, but for the most part, I was using that palette. But I think even then, people still seem to recognize my habits and the way I like go about painting things or creating things within the game. So
Yeah, I mean,
hearing
you
comments
put
like
it
that
to
is
good
pretty
use.
interesting.
You definitely put it to good use.
Thank you.
Habits is a weird way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be talking a little bit more about the art later, because that's definitely something I wanted to bring up during the interview portion. I'm a huge fan of your work, Wolf, and I think there's very clear influences in how the game came out, so that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't mind answering questions about that later.
Anyway, let's get back to the scoring. I'm sorry to interrupt about that.
That's fine. All I want to say was that the break system was designed such that certain patterns would have an easy way and like a hard way to do them. So you've got that sort of risk reward, whether to go for it or to try and play it safe.
Yeah, and there's some patterns where when you go for the break, it makes it dramatically harder, which I think is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, sometimes it also changes the pattern completely.
Yeah.
This is not a good score, by the way. This is less than half of what Jamers will achieve soon, so stay tuned.
Jamers tore this game apart. I'm pretty astounded by the score you managed to get here.
Well, it only took him like 3 tries as well.
Yeah, I have played it up quite a bit at this point, I think, from starting on the beta testing phase to up to now. So I have quite a bit of experience at this game at this point. And
Yeah, I
also
mean-
had time to figure out all sort of little secrets and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like some funny tricks, I'll say that.
Yeah, some interesting things were quite found, yeah. which I'm sure are going to be changed later on.
Yeah. So, if you see anything funny here, this is all still quite a work in progress in terms of some enemy balancing and boss bullet patterns and so on. So it's not quite representative of the final product, as they say.
But
So there was a big update just yesterday as well, wasn't there? So I had to
Yes,
redo
yeah.
the entire video. Had to do an
Yeah,
entire
thank you. Thank you so much for managing to do that. Not only just like make another video, but make another video so spectacularly. It's really pretty excellent. In just a day, so I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess if we're talking about gameplay, should we move into the scoring replay at this point, or do you want to talk for another few minutes?
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. F-Man's here.
I think one thing that should be discussed is the bombs.
Aqua.
I think F-Man might be here, but I'm not quite sure.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, now we're gonna have Aquas is here. Yay, Aquas.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey guys, I feel like a shit. I slept past my hosting duties. Gotta confess.
That's fine.
But I'm here now. STG Weekly 100. I'm finally saying it. It's official, guys. STG Weekly 100. So hopefully the episode's underway and going pretty good so far.
It is.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah.
Yes. It's
Uh,
lived up to the.
sorry guys, I apologize. I tried to sleep for like 1 hour.
You're like, I could sleep. Well, what matters is that you're here. So all the hosts are here. It's pretty cool for episode 100.
STG Weekly reunion,
Yeah.
except Soda's not here.
Looks like we got things started a little bit here. So good shit, guys. Good shit.
And we will be having a specific episode to recap the 100, right? Like a little
That's
bit
true.
later on.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
We're gonna have like the recap retrospective of STG Weekly, and we're just gonna hang out, maybe have some webcams, you know, just chillaxing, you know, and it gives you, the viewers at home, for you to share your favorite moments of STG Weekly. So it's gonna be.
You know, Aquas, for a
Look forward to
speedrunner,
that.
you're not very fast.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
For a speedrunner, you're not very fast.
Ah, god damn it.
Yeah. We were waiting to make jokes about how many
We've been
frames you
waiting.
saved.
We were waiting for like 2 hours to say that.
We're just busting your balls on this.
All right.
We love
That's
you.
legit.
We love you. Okay,
That's
guys.
that's legit.
Yeah.
Alright.
We just do it because we love yous. Okay. So which replay are we gonna start out with?
Frenetic, they're saying on the chat that your mic is really low.
Okay.
I can hear it just fine. I'm pretty sure everybody in here can hear
Yeah,
you
I
just
can hear
fine.
it fine.
But
Okay.
on stream, I guess for whatever reason, your volume in particular is really low.
Okay. So I boosted up my mic volume. Guys, let me know if that's okay. All right. So
So
we're
this is the Blue Revolver parallel 134.5 million .mp4.
okay.
video.
All right. Queuing it up.
Is everyone queued up?
Yep.
I do happen to be, yeah.
Okay. All right. Happen to be. All right. So I'm gonna just resize it for the
I'm good.
video, and then I'll do the count off. Okay. Cool.
All right, sounds like people like your audio now. Good
Sweet.
job, Frenetic.
Thanks, guys. F-Man. Oh, here. All right. 105 viewers. Sweet. All right.
Woo!
I knew I could
Five
count on the
people
F,
should
man.
fuck off.
Oh,
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Aquas. All right. I'm just gonna resize the video, and then we're gonna be good.
Oh, Jamers, is there a YouTube mirror actually that is run?
There isn't actually.
How
All right,
about it?
just making sure.
Is the Dropbox working for you? Okay.
There was
on Dropbox.
add the
Yeah,
Dropbox
this is-
for the other two links.
Oh, okay, but not this one. Oh, this is a mega link. Okay. Well, just chime in.
Not that big of a deal for me.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, all right. I'm going to count off the video. Guys, got
All
it
right,
zeroed
sounds
out. We got the parallel
Yes,
run.
sir.
Is this the one that I'm supposed to cut out early?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What? Okay. Just let me know and I'll stop it.
We'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Here we go. Blue Revolver parallel mode starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click.
Revolvo.
classic.
Volvo.
Okay, I won't say anything. Yeah, so this is Jamers. He's about to tear this game to shreds before your very eyes.
Yeah,
A lot of these tricks, I'm going to crush them very soon, so don't worry.
Okay, now we're
Blue
gonna
Leveler. Oh boy. We even get to see the opening video here, which is pretty sweet actually. I'm quite liking the game's story and the kind of the direction you decided to push it in for that. So yeah, check this out. Flavor text, yo.
Well, this is all woof, so I can't really comment. I can comment on one bit. So, just all of this, yeah.
Oh, the video is video on stream's acting a little silly.
Okay.
Acting a little silly. I mean, it's not on stream at all.
Oh my god!
Okay. What's going on? Okay. How is that?
What happened?
Okay. All right.
Shit.
Okay. Now it's on.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, when you cycle the chat out, it looks fine now.
Okay.
Right.
Chat. We're just gonna cycle you out until I can fix it.
That bit where the thing hovers, that was my sole creative input for the intro.
Yeah.
I told you to do that though.
I like that it hovers.
Did you?
I told you to do that. I was like, do this.
God damn it. Well, whatever.
And the hovering was sick, I will say.
See,
Yeah, it was
everyone
really
likes
good.
the hovering.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I came up with it on my own.
You did the math. Thanks for doing the math.
What is that, like a sign function, or?
Yes.
It was a joke, but
One of my best sign functions, actually.
no, it is pretty good. All right, here
It's
we
one of the
go.
best sign functions I've ever worked with. He's a gem.
Okay, see, I'm
I
a
don't-
little curious about that restart there, James. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, let's just do cut out all the resets.
Ah,
bird-
I see.
The funny thing is actually that there weren't any resets, so it wasn't actually necessary.
That's good though. You give yourself like a cue point. You can edit things out. That's cool.
But
So
you can see like
we were talking earlier about the scoring in this game. Right? You build up these chains of 8 enemies, and then you use a special weapon to cast times 64. You can really see that in this first stage, and kind of the way that James is killing some enemies and keeping others alive, and kind of the effort to make these short chains and then capture them in a quick and efficient way. It also looks like he's prioritizing certain enemies over others because they're worth more points, I imagine. Is that what's going on
that's
here?
correct. That's correct. Yeah, like the small ball enemies and the tanks are worth very little, so you want to use those for the chain. And the ground turrets and the big enemies are worth a lot more score, so you want to use the multiplier on those.
One moment. Can y'all tell me what time y'all are at? Like, it doesn't have to be exact.
3:30.
3:30.
All right, thank you.
But yeah, at the
Can you get
mid-boss
killed
you
by
want to-
colliding with enemy ships? Yes, you can. And in fact, in stage 3, that will come very much into play. There's lots of dive bombing enemies.
Yeah, the ones in
depends.
this, you can't collide with these for some reason.
It depends on the enemies, yeah. Some you can, some you can't. Like
I
those
mean, if they're tanks on the
small,
ground, you can roll over.
Oh yeah, you know, ground enemies, they don't count.
Yeah, you just saw there those small round enemies. You can just go over those. They don't have a hitbox.
Oh, really? Is that intentional there, Dembo?
Which enemies? Sorry, I was looking at chat.
The
Like-
ball enemies in stage 1, the little round guys that come in the groups of like 6 or 7.
No comment.
Yeah, that's a bug. That's a bug. It might become a feature.
I believe you mean it's a feature. Yeah. There we go.
It's also very useful because they shoot suicide bullets, and if you're on top of them, you can seal those bullets. So it's actually very useful as well.
You can
So
walk-
let's-
Is he? Oh, he's going up. He's over the top. There's my boy.
Oh,
that's the around the world, yo.
fantastic. So I'm not familiar with this strategy. Is this to try to make the break more consistent?
It just makes it easier to dodge because this first pattern
Yeah.
on parallel is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So the first break here on this boss is to destroy all 4 of those small drones at the same time and then kill the boss and push it to the next 4.
Yeah, before they can come back.
Before they come back, which is quite challenging to do because they come back in only a few seconds. And
Yeah,
then
the last
here on
turn-
this last form, you have to blow off both the wings and then destroy the body.
That's correct. Yeah, that's those small turrets. You have the last one that you kill. You have also the first phase has to be killed as well at the same time. So it's pretty hard to time.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is what we were talking about, where when you trigger the break, sometimes it switches to a completely different pattern. For that last form there, when you trigger the break by blowing off, and suddenly it's doing this totally different, much more challenging thing in the center.
Yeah, at start of stage 2, you can see that I prioritize the boats because they are worth less points, and I use the multiplier on those turrets on below the screen. Mostly the things that aren't worth very much are the small ships. Usually the medium ships are worth score the turrets on the ground and pretty much anything that is big. So you have to prioritize those. And here you can see I do a little chain on the rightmost box in order
Oh, that
to
was-
bridge to the big guy.
Yeah. Pasta Fan 9, this is parallel mode, which is the game's highest difficulty setting. Hyper mode has dynamic difficulty. Parallel is essentially an entire game where where it's locked to the highest possible dynamic setting.
But
Cool
yeah,
bomb,
you can
though.
yeah, it's very useful bomb to get rid of all the turrets on the boat.
Yeah.
to get everything on with the times 64 multiplier. Because bombs also give you a explosion bonus without actually starting the countdown timer.
Yeah.
Which is very useful for scoring.
And then you use the times 8 off of that to chain into the boat itself and blow it up. Great.
That's great. You can see me do. The game has a lot of these small little chains. They're a bit like the Donpachi chains.
Yeah.
And you use those chains to use the flowage on the big enemies.
Yeah, and then and this break here is kind of interesting. I'm never quite sure what the criteria is for it, because if you destroy the turrets completely out of order, it doesn't trigger. But it doesn't look like you have to destroy them all in pairs, because the center turrets can be done kind of whenever. How does that work?
Center turrets don't apply to the break at all. So it's just
Yeah.
the big turrets that you pair them by color.
Gotcha. Okay, that's very useful to know.
And
Drop
yeah,
the
you
bomb here.
The bomb just left you.
Then you told me that's a bug.
It didn't used to do that.
Yeah. I shouldn't randomly change things like that. I know.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising. I thought it was going to hover back to me, but it just fell off the screen.
See ya.
So
But yeah,
this
pattern was buffed a lot. This pattern was buffed
Yeah.
a lot. in this version.
I was gonna say, this has seen a lot of changes recently. It's been buffed quite a bit. It's much more challenging now. A lot more interesting to fight across all modes.
Especially the
what,
stage 1 and
what
2
was-
was got buffed
Yeah.
quite a bit.
All the other ones I'm still working on them. You'll see those Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, cool. Got more to look forward to then.
Caught him on that.
Don't know if you should really look forward to it. It might be a fun surprise.
I'm looking forward to it.
This
Hey, I'm
pattern
back.
is sick.
Yeah, this is
Can I get a timestamp real quick?
9:18.
9:20.
Okay,
Oh shit.
thanks.
This is sick.
Oh yeah, you can go up there. Fuck.
Oh, that's cool.
No, that's cool. Leave that in.
No!
You gotta
Oh,
leave
man.
that
Not
in.
leave
That's,
that in. Thank
that's
you very
super
much.
cool. Leave that in. It's so
I think it's cool.
It is pretty cool.
Docking with the fucking boss. Give me a break.
Oh, man.
Give me a break.
You know, I
keep
have
finding-
to
I keep
say,
finding these cool things, and I keep finding these cool things, and then Dumbo wants to correct it every time.
I really like the music in this game.
Yeah,
It's just like perfect atmospheric.
The composer we have for this game, his name is actually I never pronounce it right.
I was hoping you'd know how to pronounce it.
it's Qui-Gon, Qygen. He usually makes like psytrance and stuff like that, and the only reason why I was able to get him to work on the game was because I was a big fan of his, and the person who does the sound design for this game, he is actually he runs a label for a music label for a group that I like a lot, and so I ended up talking to him, and he connected me to again to do the music, and a lot of this stuff in here is first form. He's never done game music before. The style of sound it's similar to what he usually does, but it's a lot of new things for him. So working with that, like putting all this together was very interesting. Probably the funniest thing about this project, to me at least, is that very early on he was like, oh, I'm really glad that you picked me up for this project, but like unfortunately I'm a very slow worker. I'm like, oh, okay, that's no problem. Like Lord knows when we're gonna finish this. So it's like so long as we get like a track as we go along with each stage, Lord knows how long that's gonna take. But he ended up finishing the entire soundtrack before we finished like stage 3 or something.
Like before we even finished stage 2.
Oh, before he finished stage 2, he finished the entire soundtrack.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess the inspiration really took him away.
Oh, and someone in the chat was asking what the label is. The music label is Smiling Corpse. I'll awesome SoundCloud links in the chat right quick.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, it's really a great soundtrack, and it goes along with the action very, very well in quite a few places, particularly up ahead here.
Yeah, I'm just
after
like
this new
busting
boss,
out the
there's
glow
kind of a-
sticks, and then if you bust out the glow sticks, and then yeah, you can just do it along watching your replay. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the,
that's the
the-
nice thing about the guy finishing the track ahead of time, was that we were able to sort of sync up stuff with the stage layout.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. The extend there for people who weren't quite watching is kind of the center of the top for that mid boss, and I believe you have to destroy all the turrets similar to the Dodopachi big ship in order to get it, correct?
Yes.
And then there's also a break for destroying the 4 kind of sub turrets before the central one in that final section. Here it's kind of a Zaka rush, which is worth an enormous amount of points, and I did not even realize that until I watched this replay. And there's a counter at the top for the percentage of enemies you've destroyed. If you get above 80, then you get an additional break here as well.
That's correct.
I think the percentage used to be 90 in one of the earliest versions.
It was.
95, and then it was 90, and then it was 85. I think by release it'll be like 15.
Stop.
But yeah, that was quite a bit more difficult to get. Yeah, earlier you also saw the properties of the bomb, how it can link, extend the chain by just using a bomb. And
Yeah.
you can use
Yeah, the
that,
bomb-
yeah.
The bomb
It's
ties
very
in quite
useful.
heavily to scoring, I think.
You can make the chain quite long that way and get a lot of enemies with at times 64 multiplier.
That's great.
This is a little random, but the stage music here is like, wow, it's one of my favorites. The remix that you should be able to use in the full version of the game is probably like my favorite track in the game, hands down.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, the full version is going to feature remixes by various artists, also from the Smiling Corpse label. Glad we're able to do that. That's bonus and unlock content, I believe.
It's
It-
very
it is,
Rising-esque, like how you encourage players to use the bombs, but skillfully.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bombs definitely have a lot of strategic value, either for getting more energy for your special weapon in some sections, like you'll just not have enough energy to continue chaining stuff, and so you can use bombs to get energy from that, or just to continue the chain itself. They have a lot of uses in addition to just, oh shit, I'm gonna die, let's throw a bomb.
Yeah,
which I
recharging
really
the
like.
the energy is going to be a big part in stage 5.
Yeah,
Also,
stage 5
it's
is
quite a bit there.
It's a huge stage, and there's not much in it in terms of energy, so
Yeah, it's also mostly an air stage, so
yeah.
there are not a lot of enemies that drop any pickups for the special Gorg, because those are mostly only ground enemies.
So this pattern here is pretty interesting.
This is one of my
Yeah.
favorite patterns in the game.
I hate it. I hate playing against that one.
This game is full of just like really impressive designs. Like I can't get over how exciting this looks.
It's a really, really great game. I've had the enormous pleasure of being able to, be involved in the beta for the last couple releases, and it's fantastic. I had it running on my arcade tab last night. It feels amazing on that. It feels like it belongs on a big screen on an arcade machine like that. So really, major props for the feel and the polish of this game. I think it's really spectacular.
You guys should like get an arcade release of this. It deserves it.
That's effort.
Buy about 1 million copies of the game, and we'll think about it.
You heard
Okay.
it here first, guys. 1 million copies.
Yeah, so
Oh, damn, I have a great idea. We can do a Kickstarter.
yeah, let's do a Kickstarter,
Make
and
it
then
happen.
and we can take this to Comic-Con. You
We-
guys want to go to
we have a-
Japan?
I'll back it.
I want
This
to
game
go to
was
Japan,
already
but I
a
can't fucking afford
Let's
it.
do it again.
Well,
Now
you
that-
know, with NASCAR lately,
Ooh, yeah. We could
Yeah,
put you in
everything's
touch
possible.
with
Just give it to Trap and he'll port it to Nessica.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, technically I have a way in, but it's not something I want to be thinking about right now. I want to get this game done first.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let you know, we at STG Weekly have a lot of fingers and a lot of pots, so we're in touch
But yeah, I
with a lot
definitely
of
think
people.
that this game has some arcade potential, especially with the scoring system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It
get this on a
needs-
PCB.
Maybe with some tweaks. It's
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it.
I mean, this deserves to be out there.
So let's talk a little bit about Stage 4 here, because there's a fair bit to discuss. When I was playing it, this is really when the game suddenly like took off. Whoa, what?
Yeah,
That
you meant
was-
to actually dodge stuff there, but I
That
guess
was awesome.
I'm not
that-
mad. I'm actually quite relaxed, but
Hi mid boss, bye bimbo mid boss.
Yeah, no, that is actually a very tricky mid boss to do normally if you're trying to break.
this
But
bit here is just insane, and you're just meant to bomb through it, I guess.
yeah, that section's also incredibly difficult, or you just bomb it, you get 1,000,000 points. So more than 1,000,000, I think. Yeah, this stage is kind of really where it starts picking up for me. It's got a lot more bullets than the previous stages do. It has a lot more aggressive stuff's trying to trap you, stuff's trying to wall you. You know, you will have to be much more careful with how you play. Like, you kind of have to have a plan coming into stage 4, which is one of the reasons that I haven't made it into stage 5 yet in hyper mode. I'm still not quite there yet. But it's a lot of fun, and there's definitely a lot of scoring potential once you get into it, especially from these larger enemies that are kind of coming down in Tier 3. So
Yeah, the big blue ones are worth a lot of points. You really want to get those with times 64.
yeah, and the boss is also pretty cool.
This boss needs to be made about 10 times harder, so just look forward to that.
You got more
so-
extents on this difficulty.
Yes. You get, so normally it's your standard sort of, it's 5 million, 50 million, 25 million, 50 million. But with parallel, it's every 15 million, so there's no limit on it. So it's as hard as it can go, but also you've got a lot of stuff at your disposal.
So,
Yeah, technically it has the most extents if you can manage to score very well.
in that sense, this is extremely Rising-esque because those games encourage you to like really score high so you can keep getting more lives.
Yeah, Jamers wanted to have a lot of lives to fuck about with, so I said, here, have all of the lives you want.
Here, have
Nice.
all the lives.
Yeah, more lives
Oh,
means
God,
more
lives.
suicides means more resources to use on the scoring potential.
Yeah, and that's something I really like about this run is you do see, like, right there some strategic suiciding and some very intentional usage of the resources, and you really push it pretty far, so it's pretty fantastic to see.
Yeah, I died a few times near the start of the game, but
I noticed that.
it didn't really matter because I had a suicide anyway at some point.
It's just rank control, nobody has to know.
Yeah, it's just super lazy Gregor survival mentality.
Yeah,
I needed to die anyway, so
yeah.
might as well keep going.
Might as
Oh my
well be
god,
now.
backwards bullets. Oh shit.
Who cares?
Backwards
This-
bullets. So
I
sad.
really
Definitely
like-
isn't hard enough. Definitely to make this really hard.
Yeah, it's you guys are a little bit ahead of me actually. Can I have a timestamp?
2046.
Oh wait, and I'm exactly the same place. Frenetic, where are you?
I'm at 2046.
He is now, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Bit of
What is
trivia
final?
here.
We're-
This
we're
part is
seeing-
called VDM.
VDM.
VDM is French slang meaning "fuck my life," and that's what I would say if I was a big robot getting head blown up. Yeah.
yeah, I like that it comes from the walls. And before this most recent release, you did not have the warning tiles around the edge, which
that's
was a
just me
great
being an idiot.
addition because it really was very upsetting when I came over to that. Like, what did I do? Oh. So, yeah, it was bad. And then
The original
stage
theme
5.
for that boss was meant to be that it would surprise you in ways. So I guess that's okay, but it was a bit of a gotcha. Right, look at this boss. He's so cool. Oh, look what's happening to him. He's dead. Fucking dead.
This mid boss is fun.
Yeah, you
When
can
you
see I
actually
recharge
play it.
the energy right there with the
Yeah.
with the 2 bombs. Because
Which
there are a
is
lot of extra
definitely
enemies that
worth-
appear once you if you kill mid boss fast. A lot of extra enemies appear that are worth a lot of points.
Yeah,
So you
that's what
definitely
I
want
was
to
gonna
kill
say.
it.
Choke on him.
Not only is it better for just for having the energy, but you also get a ton of bonus enemies in that section. So absolutely worth it to be killed in the boss.
Dude, I love the big blue guys that shoot the spiral bullets. Except I don't like fighting them.
You like fighting anything in stage 5?
That's not true.
You like fighting the resupplier, the thing that gives you ammo.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
you know, I really like the female voice that says MOBA. It's a really cool
Ah.
homage.
Yeah, the VA for the default announcer, Momobako, she was extremely eager to do something for this game. I don't think
Oh
she's
my
done
God.
any voice work for games before, so she was like, she was like head over heels like trying to do this,
Wow, that's
I-
great.
I'm
even though she only had like 12 lines.
I'm so glad you got her for it. Whenever I hear the like, "Doody body ba," I get like, oh, it's so adorable. I can't even deal with it. So,
If
Yeah, it's
I were
great.
Japanese, I would totally want to put my voice in this game.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
that was
couple,
probably
English
it.
VAs as well,
actually.
right?
The fact that this is a American game, she really wanted to do it.
I
Our,
wanted to put my voice in the game, but no one would let me.
you should do it as an unlock. That would be amazing.
If you look in the game files, there's a really old sound file I have of me going BOMBER!
Nice.
Could go with that as a general theme.
That spooked me the first time I heard it in the game. I was like, what is this?
Good announcers really just add so much to a game, I think.
Yeah.
Our second female announcer, Naoki Yuzu, she frequently does Dojin voice work. Our background artist actually told me about her, and we were trying to look for someone to do the voice for Valerie, since last minute she ended up being a playable character. So I was like, okay, so if we have an announcer that's supposed to be it's supposed to be May, then let's get someone for Valerie too. And Naoki Yuzu was also very eager to work on this. I guess for the same reason that it's an American indie game. I guess.
No,
Well, I guess it's just me, but I like her voice the most. I always use hers as the announcer.
Yeah, I definitely prefer her as the announcer for most things, but Momobako announcing the game title, I just can't get over that. Amazing.
Momobako's break voice is really cute too.
The
Oh,
particle
yeah.
effects are really beautiful, I think.
Yeah, Dambo. I think that was one of the first things Dambo added in before he started working on the rest of the stage. I think it was before we even had. Yeah, it was before we
those
even had any
particles.
backdrops or anything.
Yep. No, this stage is great. It's really distinctive looking compared to the rest of the game.
Yep, there's another cool mid boss. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, this guy is a jerk if you actually fight him.
He's
you-
a
if you
tall
use
paper
this.
tiger if you've got like 2 bombs.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Also, 100 million points. This is ridiculous. My
Obviously,
current
there are
last
some,
run is literally less than half. It's like, God, and he's not even done yet.
There's going to be more.
I know.
The true last boss especially gives a lot of score, so but you're not going to. Yeah.
Yeah, which we're not gonna see. But so, I have some questions about some of these names, like Press, Squib, Vanguard, Filibuster Mark II, Revolver. I get, and Press I kind of get from the motion. What's the story behind the others, if there is a story?
Just these ones? Or
Yeah.
all of the bullet pattern
Or
names?
them in general, I guess.
I just looked at the pattern and I tried to think of a word that summarized it. So this one, she's pressing you against the wall.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Uh,
this one I kind of get.
Filibuster, she's stalling for time, and also filibuster already sounds like an attack. That's all. That's probably gonna be filibuster mark 10 by the time we're done. Zugzwang is a term in chess meaning something like compulsion to move, like you're forced to move but you really don't want to. Doesn't really match it, but it matches it enough.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah, this boss got changed a lot in development. It used to be a lot easier, but then I complained, and it got a lot harder.
Well,
It's only gonna get harder.
You see what you're gonna get.
Squib is pretty fun. I was saying earlier, you know, who put this pinball in my shoot 'em up?
Also, I just wanted to point this out. I don't think the stream is so far ahead that the conversation is hard to follow, but Frenetic's video is clearly like at least like a good like 10 or 15 seconds ahead of us.
Shit.
Oh, what? Yeah, can
If you take a look at the stream, you'll definitely notice.
okay. Frenetic.
Okay, so my timestamp is 14, 15, 16.
What the minutes?
Minutes.
Just click ahead like another 10 seconds, you'll be good.
Okay, 2:28, 23, 24.
That's exactly right. That's
exactly
weird.
where we are. Okay, that's super weird.
Well, whatever. I'm done caring about technical issues. I'm quite honest.
The important thing is that
Still easy to follow.
when this boss is defeated, you will need to stop this replay.
Oh yeah. Fuck me, I forgot.
Oh, is this like the normal last boss?
So there is a TLB after this, which Wolf and Dunbo have requested be kept secret until the game's actual release, and I feel
So there's a
like
surprise for
that's
people.
a pretty reasonable thing to ask for. So,
Alrighty.
so did
It's
you
quite
hear that?
unfinished at this point as well.
Frenetic, did you hear that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop it right after. Should I stop it now then?
When the boss is
As
dead,
soon
should
as
be-
as soon as the revolver pattern is over, yes. Once this boss is dead.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it now just so we can see it. Okay.
Alright.
Sorry guys, you gotta play this for yourself. Okay, add a stop. Okay.
All right, cool.
TLB is parallel only, right?
Yes.
Well,
And there's no requirements for it. You just gotta clear it.
So hopefully
Yeah,
that'll
and,
entice you at home to play parallel mode and see the true last boss with your own eyes. Okay,
And some of these patterns are
which video
cool,
should I
it's
queue
really-
up next?
Missions footage, I guess.
Yeah, let's do the missions.
Missions, okay.
Missions_footage.avi.
Okay, got it. Alright, I've got it zeroed out. Let me just make sure it's good in the layout. Okay, looks good in the layout. Okay, shall we start it? Everyone have a
Everyone
queue?
else ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, starting
Yup.
in. I'm gonna do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But yeah, the true last boss isn't quite finished yet.
Okay, missions
Yeah,
mode. Can you tell us about this
I'll-
missions mode?
Have you started?
No.
Yeah,
not yet.
can we queue it up and start it and then
Okay.
talk?
All right. Counting off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So the missions mode is it's sort of there for people that might not be fully comfortable doing full clears of the game. So it basically takes the various stages and puts them in single stage challenges along with like a condition. So you've got your strict survival scoring challenges, and you've also got a few little extra things. So you've got, first of all, just survive the stage. You've not got any lives, but you've got bombs, and this is just to encourage people to use the bombs if they're in trouble. And you'll see some more gimmicky stuff later. Well, gimmick is such a negative term, isn't it?
It's a negative term, but it's accurate. In
It's
a way.
not a negative
Literally
term
what they're called
for
in the-
Aquas, because Aquas loves gimmicks.
Oh,
Well, I like gimmick.
Nice. Nice pun there.
It's not STG Weekly without the puns. Okay.
Gotta have those puns.
Yeah, no, it's so this mission here is just straight survival.
Yeah, and there's
I
a
think the next one is a a basic scoring, like get 2 million before the boss or something.
Yeah.
Which
There's also a special objective on most of the missions, well, all of the missions, which is, in this case, to destroy 95% of the enemies. So you've got a little counter up there.
Yep. And I do like that you have that it's not just an invisible thing. And of course, it's unique to this mission, so it's not there in the normal game, but it's great that it's visible.
It reminds me of like Seibu Kaihatsu.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some destruction bonuses in the Raiden Fighters games, right?
And Viper Phase, yeah.
Yeah, Viper Phase, that's right. Yeah.
Soft drink,
there's
can you get
definitely
closer to your mic? You're a little bit low.
Me?
Me?
Soft drink, you're kind of low, so get closer to the mic. Boost
Who?
it. Boost it up.
Who?
Soft drink.
Okay.
You're low. Low in
Yeah.
mix. Get closer. Get louder.
You
What's
still
the
haven't
next
told
up,
me
please?
who's quiet, but
Soft drink is quiet. Soft drink, you're too quiet.
I can hear him just fine, actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you might just want to like turn up his volume.
So this is invisible bullet mode. Don't know if you tell or not, the bullets, they go invisible if they're close. This seems like a funny haha gimmick, but there's actually a reason behind it, which is to try and train players to look outside of their, like, if you just started playing these games, you're just going to look right at your ship, right? You're going to get that tunnel vision. So this
Yeah.
is meant to kind of train players to maybe look up a little bit, you know?
no, it's something that's very difficult to get people to do. Otherwise, I've taken games to a lot of different events and left them there for public play, and people asking where should I look. It's a very difficult question to even answer, but most of the time the answer is not at where you are. So this is, I think, a really great idea, really to try to kind of convince people to get out of that habit.
Yeah,
One thing I
pretty good idea.
really want to do is, you know those eye tracker things that like psychos that play milsim games use?
Oh yeah.
I really want to hook one of those up to any sort of shooting game, really, and just see where people are looking. It
I would
seems
love
quite
to do
interesting.
that. Yeah, that'd be really fascinating. The other thing is, I've been using some EEG data at work. I'd be really curious what people's brains look like when they play shooting games. Anyway, totally.
There was a video
not
of
topic
a
there.
Mushi Futari God mode double play that used that eye tracking technique.
Oh really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That was pretty interesting.
That's
But
super
yeah, it's
cool.
mostly want to look like two ships ahead of you up the screen.
That's pretty cool. God mode double. Yeah, people are talking about Beatmania hidden sudden modes and DDR disappearing notes. Yeah, it's a similar
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I got the idea from.
The idea of kind of having to predict the movement. It's very similar.
I like how the bullets don't disappear entirely when they approach you.
Yeah, you still kind of see them at like 5% opacity, so
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it still like makes a difference. Like, you're
Yeah,
still gonna have to look away from your ship.
Will the challenge modes be good or a waste of time? Ouch.
I've never
That's a
played
rough
the
question.
Jamestown or Side Diojo challenge modes, so I wouldn't know.
I have
Excellent.
played the Jamestown one, like a long time ago, and I mean they were alright. Like they were good for like training you how to like get higher scores and stuff.
Oh, so what we're seeing here is that by completing that challenge, that mission, he got some star points which you can use for in-game unlocks. So these are things like remix soundtracks or alternate skins for some of the player characters or additional background art.
That's
And there's
cool.
also free play is also available to unlock through here. So normally when you play the game, continuing is not allowed at all. In order to get the ability to continue, you have to earn 4,500 points, which takes a few runs through in normal gameplay or a few missions or some combination of both. And at that point, you can then continue as many times as you want.
That's cool. So it's kind of like giving players an incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really didn't want to give people free play right out the bat because people will just like say, "Oh, I can just continue this. What's the point of this? What's the point of this game?"
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
You
it's
can also
like
get-
one, yeah. It's like
You can
one
also get
star
those.
per.
Oh god.
Okay, go ahead.
You can also get those stars just by playing the game normally, so you don't have to do the missions if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dojin release of Crimson Clover actually did the same thing.
Yeah, you had to buy your continues. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's like 1 star per 10,000 points.
So I mean, Jamers could probably buy everything in the store on one run at this rate.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
a
I-
zero, so I think Jamers can buy everything about a million times over.
Yeah, I think after that one, I got like 130,000 stars or something.
Yeah, a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's nice. It lets players who are pretty experienced with the game get other bonuses, things like gallery art or additional music or whatever, and it lets new players get the ability to continue and progress further.
Yeah, it's an incentive to figure out the scoring system.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty cool.
Another interesting thing about the mission mode is that every mission comes with a preset ship type.
Yeah.
So you have to experiment with all the different kinds of weapons that the game has to offer.
Yeah, that's also really nice because it's pretty easy to fall into a habit of just using one ship type, one weapon, one option type. So it's good to kind of be forced out of your comfort zone a little bit, even if you don't necessarily like the thing that's being presented to you in the moment. At least you know that you don't like it.
Though I will add, I think players actually get like really strong when they sort of focus on like what they're best at. Like,
Yeah,
like they learn
definitely.
how to really like optimize like a certain type.
Yeah, absolutely. I
This is the-
particularly like this challenge.
Yeah.
This is the Matador challenge.
It's my favorite.
You got a big old bullet there. It doesn't like you. Probably you owe it money or something. It doesn't like you. It won't fuck off. So you're gonna have to deal with it.
You owe it money.
What kind of fucked up universe is this?
You're a fucking universe, mate.
You're right.
You can set BGM for specific stages. Yes, yes you can.
Yeah, and there's stages with 2 or 3 remixes you can pick between all the different options. It's quite well laid
Yep.
out actually. Bullet buddy, oh boy.
You should be able to, like swing it. You should be able to swing it into enemies and destroy them like that.
Oh, that would actually be really cool.
You said you should be able to. You're the dude who made it. Like somebody should
You
do
know, just throwing around ideas. Trying to have fun.
that. Just remember, just look at that calendar.
Can you have it say like be like that?
See how
I'm
much
not
time
looking
you
at the
actually
calendar. I'm
have to
looking
add
at my
these things.
fucking bed right now. I want to go in it.
Can you have it like that fairy in Zelda
Yeah, it's
where
your
it goes
fault for not
like
taking a nap first.
Yeah, it is.
If I took a nap, I would end up like my man Aquas here.
Oh,
yeah.
dang!
For sure.
dang.
It's okay, Aquas. You work hard.
The difference between the two ships is they have different shot types and different special weapons available to them. There's no difference in
That was
speed
better.
or anything like that.
So maybe you should have that little that thing like the fairy in like Zelda. It goes like, hey, hey, hey,
Hey, listen.
listen,
Yeah.
listen.
Oh,
You get
goodness. Navi.
Great. Yeah, so on the topic of release and deadlines and features that may or may not be added, let's talk about stuff that will be for sure omitted from the initial release. Now, when
Okay.
I spoke to you, you mentioned that you're not planning on having replays or online leaderboards available at release, but you are
Yes.
planning for sure for adding them in. And this is because you want to make the absolute best possible experience with those features and make sure that they're not, buggy or desynced or whatever.
The way
what can you say about that?
Well, the way I see it, right? Okay, I'm not confident in the replays right now, and you can kind of get around it by streaming and so on. On the other hand, a replay function that kind of works, but sometimes they'll desync. That's more useless than not having one in the first place, in my opinion.
Right.
I agree.
I
So-
absolutely agree.
Just something we want to get absolutely right. And leaderboards, those could be done quite quickly, but they don't make much sense without replays. And this will also give us a little bit of time to think about, leaderboard hacking, that kind of thing.
Yeah, which has been something of a concern with some releases lately, particularly some of the Dejica releases. Crimson Clover's port, I remember, was particularly affected.
Well, that's always going to be going on, I think.
It'll
Like,
always happen.
At the end, there's
even back
only
in,
so
like,
much to do, but you can
2013.
screen out a little bit.
with Ikaruga, people were
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah. I mean, you're never going to be able to stop it, but at least having systems in place to manage it or make it easier to deal with. So,
Yeah, usually it's pretty obvious, so you can remove it, but sometimes it's harder. Yeah.
yeah.
Can you tell us more about the release? Like, when's the ETA and pricing?
11th of October.
Oh, so
I'm
you did
saying
decide
it.
the 11th.
Yes, it's the 11th of October, I can confirm. I might regret it, but that's the time.
That's what
price-
deadlines are, man. You just hate them.
Who likes them? The pricing is not wholly decided yet. We've still got to have a quick word about that.
You need to give your firstborn children because the game is that awesome.
I don't think it's that good, though. It's alright.
Your thirdborn children.
Wow. Nice.
I mean, you said it, yeah? You said it. Put that in the back of the...
I mean, I think it looks pretty awesome.
Put that in the back of the box. It's alright.
Our frothing demand for this game is at a sort of rolling boil. It's not that good.
Maybe after this episode,
God,
we can like kick it up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
We'll get the froth more. I'm feeling the froth from chat. Are you frothing? Go ahead and press 1 if you are frothing for this game. And if you're not, then don't press anything. Yeah.
Oh, are we going to pull out that meme? Our frothing demand for this game increases.
I already did that, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, we already. Oh, we've got frothing. We've got frothing. Frothing alert.
Oh yeah, frothing.
What
And
about
we've
the
got
robbing
Doritos. We have Doritos.
We have a
All right.
Dorito. What does that mean? I don't know. But I'll take it as a 1.
Well, hey, you thinking that what you made was shit is probably a sign that it's really good, if you ask me.
I don't think it's shit. What the hell are you saying?
I think our game's awesome. I'm very proud
I
of
can't
myself.
believe
with
I
this game.
paid $1 million to STG Weekly, and I come on, and this is the treatment I get. Wow, your game is really shit, isn't it?
Oh, man. Yeah.
It was actually $1 billion.
Guys.
Say it's actually
Guys. All right,
Yeah, I was
guys.
using hyperbole here.
Cream, you're docked about $100,000 for that comment. I'll take your
Okay.
100K, okay? So,
I'll pay up.
Yeah.
And so here's just showing off the gallery from the game, which is a lot of this is art that Wolf made for promo and stuff, or character design and such.
I don't have a good
Shio-
attention span, so I'm
it's
kind of skipping
unlockable.
through them fast.
Shiomachi,
love-
the gallery PC unlocked from Shiomachi, she constantly tells me how much she hates her piece, or rather, like, she wants to redo it because it's like, when I contacted the artist to do the guest pieces, it was like shortly after the public demo, so it was like a year ago, and she contacts me now. She's like, "Can I like redo my piece or something? Because it's like a year old and I don't want to look at it anymore." I'm like, "You don't have to. Other people will. They'll like it. I like it. I think it's sick."
Pretty.
No, I
Another-
love the art in there, and I love that you have a gallery. It's something I always really like when games do. They have, art that is unlockable or visible.
Yeah, any game I get behind, any game that has like my name in it or something, it needs to have a gallery mode. I love gallery mode stuff.
So it's super cool you did that. I really appreciate that.
I'm happy.
Wow, this game has really good sound effects.
What's going on?
Is that a cat?
The fuck is going on?
Who brought their cat to the stream?
That's my cat
What
Zelda,
happened?
guys. You may have heard her,
Okay.
seen her. Sorry, she wanted to
So
talk.
many face bombs.
Okay.
So many.
Please.
STG Weekly number 100, everyone.
I thought like fucking universe was imploding there. Fuck.
I thought Dambo was dying at first, but no.
Why me? I don't sound like a fucking cat.
because you've been
First they
complaining
call the
about your
game
lack of
shit,
sleep.
now they call you a cat.
Oh my god. Not worth the investment.
All
I'm
right.
surprised my dog hasn't shown up yet.
Well, at this point, should we move over to the interview questions? Do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool. By the way, Frenetic, when this replay ends, go ahead and put up the hyper mode run again,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right, I'll put up the hyper mode.
or not?
No, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
put up hyper mode, not the parallel mode. The hyper mode, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the hyper mode.
Okay,
Hyper
you got it.
So, I know you guys got your start as a game dev circle through the Ludum Dare, I don't know how to pronounce that, collaboration you did, Red Entity, I think it was called. But how did you actually find each other for that event? Like, how did Stellar Circle originally form?
Wolf and I met through a mutual friend. I think I bought a commission or two off of him. So, if you want to work with good artists, you gotta spend the money up front, yeah?
There you go.
Yes, please.
Okay. You mentioned that you both have a history with shooting games. On the press, you mentioned that as a reason why you eventually decided to make a shoot 'em up. Care to elaborate a little bit on that? Like, what's your personal history with the genre? What really inspires you in this genre?
Well, I mean, I started playing shooting games like 10 years ago. I played the Perfect Cherry Blossom demo, and I was so bad that I didn't realize it was a demo. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Then I sort of just graduated up as I sort of went along into the big boy Cave releases and so on. Did a few of the SGGTs, etc.
In my case, I can't remember when exactly I got into shoot 'em ups. I think it was around like 2006 or so. But a friend was showing me various shoot 'em ups, and the one that I enjoyed playing the most at the time was Escaluda, because it was relatively easy for me, and the what's it called? The slowdown mechanic I thought it was really fun. For someone who has like no idea what's going on, having a button that does something like that, I thought it was like the most fun thing ever.
That's
And,
always a good one to start with.
It's a very approachable game, and it's a hell of a lot of fun, even if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it ended up like that series in general ended up being one of my favorites. So I started playing through all those games over time, and I'm definitely not very good at shmups. If I'll ever try like do scoring stuff, I'll never get past like stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 3 or whatever, depending on the game. But I do understand them to a degree. I understand enough to where it's like I understand what I do and don't like about shmups, and what kind of shmups I like, what kind of shmups I don't like. Battle Garega and Ketsui and Escalated 2 are probably like the ones I play the most and enjoy the most. But working with Dambo is very interesting on this project, because like as time passed, I realized, I actually don't know a whole lot about shmups as I thought. So it ended up getting to a point where I left the ball in Dambo's court for most of the things and just focused on what I was supposed to be doing, which is just the artwork.
I suck shit at this mission, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Is this like a Gigawing shield?
Yeah, this is one of the defense special weapons. This is Valerie's one.
Oh,
So it's kind of like a Takumi game sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
cool.
It's
So
more for new players, but
yeah, no, it's neat to have that kind of stuff in there for sure.
Oh, is one of the two characters intended for like beginners over another?
not really. We originally wanted Valerie, because she's an enemy. Yeah, we wanted her power to scale with the game's rank, but we couldn't really figure out how to make that work in a sensible way.
That's a really interesting idea, but
It's
yeah,
a funny
no
idea,
how it
yeah, but I couldn't ever make it work in my head.
That's pretty neat. Well, talking about gameplay, the gameplay of Blue Revolver obviously takes a lot of cues from the work of like Cave and Raizing. There's even some pretty clear shoutouts, like the patterns you used to have for Stage 1, for example, pretty clear influences from Ketsui for the boss. But what other influences were there on the gameplay? And this doesn't even have to be just shooting games. Like if you were inspired by a platformer or an action game or something, I'm just curious, like what inspired you when you were making this game?
Well, when we entered into this project, what I wanted to do, I wanted to make Muchi Muchi Pork, yeah? That was it, basically.
There we go.
And eventually, we added more and more things from other games and so on. So yeah, I would say Ketsui in terms of a general sort of tempo, Pork and stuff like Cyvern for the scoring system, as well as Raiden Fighter's Jet, maybe a bit of Garega. The rank system is actually inspired by God Hand, of all things.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm sure if you played that game, you'll know where the similarity is there.
I have not played it recently enough to remember, actually. But,
if you know what that game's about, then, you know, you'll know what the similarity is.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm
I gotta go pump in some God Hand. I got it on my
Is
ship.
that where parallel mode came from?
Oh.
Sorry, what was that?
Is that where parallel mode came from?
No,
Okay.
parallel mode was just there, and we kept having back and forth ideas for what to do with it.
Because I know that in God Hand, the hardest difficulty is also locked to the highest rank.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, that just makes sense, really.
Do you guys plan to continue developing after this game?
Developing games?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Great.
I really, really, really want to continue and make something, anything. I want to keep making stuff.
I know what you want
it's
to
fun.
make, mate. I know what you want to make.
Oh,
That's good.
Okay. I'll go ahead and say that I want to make something that I'm more familiar with. That was the only problem I had with working on Blue Revolver, is that there were a lot of situations just like I was explaining earlier. I don't actually know as much about shmups as I thought I did. So it's hard for me to like give Dambo input on like anything gameplay wise. So like whenever he passes stuff off to testers, I'm like seeing the feedback that they give. I'm like, damn, if only I was smart enough to like notice things like this.
Well, hey, people talk about like how this genre is like dying out, and I'm just saying like I'm glad we have a new powerhouse dev on the scene to like bring it back, you know.
So guys,
Can you ask Woof a question? I need to be off for 2 seconds. Sorry, very sorry.
oh, okay, no worries. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna queue up the hyper video. Do you want me to do a countdown for this now?
No, just
That doesn't matter.
go
Okay,
wherever.
I'm just gonna throw it on then. Here goes. This is the hyper mode. Hyper.
Yeah, so I guess talking about gameplay a little bit more, the floor system you have, it's kind of unique in that it encourages this sort of short chaining and cash-ins. I can think of some other games that have this kind of like flow where you're trying to build up a small chain and then cash it in for something, like Futari Maniac mode comes to mind, where you kind of build up your counter and then drop it in, and it's not a full stage chain. But there's nothing quite like this system. And can you say a few words about kind of how that was created and the process by which that mechanic evolved?
That's one way to answer it, but Dambo is AFK, I think.
Oh,
That's why he said right quick that any questions if you had any more questions, just direct them to me. Or
yeah, no, I
questions to me.
definitely have some questions for you. What is this sound? Is this
That's Aqua's, I guess.
Oh yeah, train's coming through.
Yeah, choo choo.
Okay, cool.
Choo choo.
So I guess talking to you, Wolf, the game has a really distinctive art style, and your art has a really, really distinctive style. Like I said before, I totally love your art. Is there anything in particular that inspires you personally, or that really inspired you when you were working on this game?
In general, when it comes to art in general, I guess anybody who is familiar with my art would get this impression, but I'm really fascinated by color theory and stuff like that. So like it's easier for me to say more so than like artists or artist works in particular about what influences me. What really influences me is just color in general. But as for this game in particular, I just drew influence from the titles I play the most, really. Escalada, Garega, Katsui. I did take a look at what's it called? Saidaiojo a bit for the color style. Even though that game, people, at least from what I understand, people don't really like the graphics that much because of the rendering style, I believe. Or at least among artists, that's what I know.
Well,
But,
they also kind of recycled a lot of graphics, like on Stage 4 and in other places.
Yeah.
Like, it was made on a budget, you know?
Yeah.
It's
But
too blue.
the overall, like, the theme behind that game and the colors used in that game, I drew influence from that as well.
Yeah, personally, I always liked the visual style in that game.
Yeah, I mean the comments about style and color, I can definitely see some Saidaiojo influence in this. I can definitely see the color in your art and in this especially. That's something I've always found really amazing about your work, is you just have these crazy palettes that like shouldn't work, but they do. That's super cool. Would you say there was anything that you found particularly challenging about working on the art for this game?
Oh boy, I could write an essay. The hardest thing, I was very ambitious about the background work, like the style of like tiling I wanted to do. I more or less got it here, but the ways I had to like do certain things was a little unorthodox compared to what I'm used to doing. I've never made assets for a shmup before, so like most of the stuff I do is either for what should I say? Not in this perspective really, just straight ahead, or I guess like platformers, things like that. But this in particular, I experienced a lot of like new problems, and since I'm pretty much the only artist on the team besides Comet, who did the backdrops. So it's like
backdrops, right?
He knows even less than I do. So a lot of stuff we kind of brute forced into the game. That's another thing. Another slight regret I have about working on this game is that I do wish I was able to implement some of the assets in this game a little better. Some animations I tried not to be very ambitious about, because it would put Dambo. I remember Dambo specifically telling me at one point, he's like, please don't put that many animations for this enemy in particular, this and the third, because it'll be like really time consuming for me. And I'm like, okay, well let me just do this for every enemy in the game from this point on.
I'll come back just in time to
Come back.
Anyway.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Yep,
welcome.
Hi.
Seems like you dropped out there for a bit, so I was just chatting with Wolf about the art.
Yeah, I'm sorry. A guy was chapping on the door asking about
Oh,
release
no.
date, and I said, "Boy, howdy! Haven't you tuned in to STG Weekly, the premier source for all shmup information?"
Yeah,
And
that's
he
what
said,
happens.
There you
Fair
go.
And you're like, you should. You got to convert people that come to your door. Let me tell you about shmups. Welcome back, Dambo.
I'm now imagining us like door to door in like suits. Like, have you heard about shoot 'em ups? All right, moving on. So one thing I've really been curious about, I'm pretty aware of how the game has evolved over time from a public perspective. I played every demo that was released, and now that I'm in the beta, I've been playing kind of the successive beta updates. But I'm curious about the kind of thing that I haven't been exposed to. Have there ever been any really dramatic changes in the development of the game?
Dramatic changes. I can't think of many. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I like completely scrapped and redone, but it's all like under the hood stuff. And the alpha used a completely different like perspective for all of the art. Don't know if we've said that already. So we had to redo all that. Yeah, it was sort of more of an isometric look instead of a top-down look, but it just wasn't scalable.
Yeah, okay. I can see how that would be challenging, especially on rotation on turrets and things.
It was so much work that at a certain point, before I even heard any info from Dambo, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like,
Thanks.
I'm the only artist on the team. I'm not doing this by myself. I'm not crazy.
We have a question from chat for you, Wolf. What do you think about Hyper Light Drifter?
I never played it. The colors, I can comment about the colors. I think the use of color is interesting, but the style of pixel art itself is not my cup of tea. That's about it. I think the animations are really well done.
Yeah, that's kind of my strong point as well. I think it's interestingly colorful, and it has really cool animation, but it's not quite my preferred style. So let's see. I mean, you kind of touched on this. You said you scrapped a lot of things. Is there anything you really wanted to include in the game that didn't make it into what it is now?
There's something I made. I made the first boss. It actually has 2 sprites. It splits. It has the ship on top, right? That you see in the third form, and it also has the tank beneath it. Those, we had an idea for parallel mode or whatever. It was supposed to like split up for like since the first phase or whatever, and you fight them separately like that, or rather you fight them at the same time except they're separated. But Dambo was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
I've probably said it in a more diplomatic way. We had a lot of ideas that kind of got thrown on the parallel mode pile. One of them was, so you know how Valerie appears in stage 2, yeah? She's sort of the mid-boss, and she interplays with the sort of regular enemies on the stage. I personally quite like the dynamic of that, and I kind of wanted to have that for parallel mode on every stage. She would just randomly appear and fuck with you. But it never, very difficult to balance, never quite managed to do it.
I do think it's pretty cool, though, like how you have like the player characters showing up in the stages.
Yeah, and even the bosses are different. Like the stage 4 boss, if you're playing as Val, is May inside the big ship.
Yeah, she stole it.
Yeah. But yeah, that would have been interesting actually. Kind of like Malek from Pink Sweets.
Yeah, actually.
So
Yeah, actually, Toho did the same thing on some of the games. They had like the player characters battle each other.
I know some people aren't fans of it, but like hands down, one of my favorite things in games is like reoccurring like enemies or bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Definitely.
That's always
like,
fun.
You
Like,
come back and you develop that like grudge against them.
yeah, like I like when you put some personality into it, you know?
So long as they don't like
one of the
play the same
tiniest,
way.
Go on, sorry.
So long as they don't play the same way every time.
Yeah.
I'm fine. My favorite
Yeah,
part about it is
yeah.
like they develop as you develop. That's why I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and there are some games I can think of that kind of do that. They have like a rival that develops with you, and like kind of makes me think of Sorcerer Striker and Rapid Hero and maybe Bat Rider.
Even
Love
thinking
stuff like
about
that.
for
So-
non
so
shoot 'em ups.
how integral was players' feedback? Like you said that Jamers played, tested, and Soft Drink you played. Do you think that kind of led to your game being like better created or better developed with that input?
I don't like to dip into player feedback too early because it can kind of lead you to sand a lot of rough edges down before you've even like developed them. So a lot of it would be, I would kind of work on my own for a little bit and then get a lot of feedback and just see. Sometimes the answer would be, no, I'm not going to change that. Sometimes the answer is, yeah, you're right, let's change it.
Oh, I see.
We're actually looking for a couple more testers right now. I posted on System 11 about it, so go and check the thread there and see what you think.
Yeah, guys.
I've got about 3 more keys that I want to give out to testers right now. So
Go to the farm, guys. Maybe you could be one
All
of the
right.
lucky ones.
Hey, I'll do it.
lucky. I'm looking for skilled people, not fucking lucky people, mate.
I'll do it.
You could
I
be
mean,
skilled.
you've seen my Raiden replays, right? No, okay. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm decent. I can do it.
Actually,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
kind
we'll
of a
see.
big deal.
Get Cream. Okay, Cream. She's issued a challenge. So submit your resume, Cream, and they'll see.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got like a whole list of questions. We've kind of gone through some of it already. What would you say would be like the easiest and hardest part of making Blue Revolver? Both Dambo and Wolf. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about that.
The easiest thing, it's not very hard to say because there are things where you can get the groundwork down just immediately and say, right, that kind of works, but it then requires a lot of tweaking and polishing and fixing. Hardest thing for me is putting stages together. I found it quite difficult to get the rhythm and to make them reactive enough, and it's something I'm still working on, trying to get that perfect for the game's release. So that was definitely the hardest thing. In the end, the way I eventually came to figure out quite a solid theory about boss bullet patterns, for example, where I would just have a few rules that I would apply and come up with something quite nice. So that wasn't easy, but it was I could do it quite consistently.
That's cool. What about you?
Yes. In my case, the easiest thing, hands down, would be developing the world and the characters and stuff like that. Because originally, the majority of these designs and the majority of the ideas that went behind this visually were for another idea that I had that got scrapped. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna sit on this and I'll use it for something. And that's when I started like making stuff with Tambo, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll just like take the world that I was designing and then put it to use here, and then we'll use it for all the projects. So doing that was really simple. Like I already had the creative sandbox in my head. But the hardest part, hands down, like I said earlier, was putting the backgrounds together easily.
Okay.
It's very unorthodox. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
Well,
working
It flows nicely.
I'm glad people like it though.
Yeah,
I'm very scared that people wouldn't like the way this game looked, honestly.
Oh no,
Early on.
like it has a great flow to it.
I mean, I think what you guys kind of took a chance with the aesthetic. You really pushed the style a long way, and I think it's fantastic. I think that you will probably run into people who don't care for it, but I love it. It seems from how many people are watching the episode that I'm not alone in that. So
How many people are watching?
we had 105 a while ago.
Yeah, it's 92 right now. But
Bad.
yes.
So another question for both of you: if you had to pick just one thing in the whole game, what would you say you are most proud of in Blue Revolver?
The boss bullet patterns. Pretty simply, I think they're quite diverse, fun, and they're gonna be very difficult
They're
soon.
pretty damn good.
Does it have to be like something that we've done ourselves?
No, but I mean, yeah, whatever you want.
Well, I guess in my case, like for what I've done, I would have to say I'm very happy and proud of the implementation of the designs of the characters and the way everything looks in the game. I'm glad people like it I'm glad it's gotten a lot of like positive reception about the way the game looks. There's not many shmups where you can really feel like you get to know who the pilots are or anything like that, or basically like why you're even playing the game, like what's a motive or anything like that. But overall, like the game itself, I think what I'm most proud of is I really like the music. I really hope people grab the soundtrack along with the game when it comes out.
So that is a question that I have coming up here.
Yeah.
The game has a great soundtrack, including a bunch of remix and arranges. Is there going to be a soundtrack release, and how will that work?
So I'm talking over that soundtrack release with our musician right now, trying to figure out what suits him. I've not talked to anything about the arranged tracks just yet. I think that would probably be on Woof. So you'll be able to buy it somewhere. I don't know when and how much, but you will be able to fully support the musician because I think he's done an excellent job.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Let's see. So some questions for you, Dambo.
Mm-hmm.
How many games have you worked on?
4 little crummy jam games. Well, the last one wasn't so crummy.
This was Red Entity, the last one, or
Yes. So I did a game about shooting teapots of a rocket launcher, and then I did a Euro shmup where you get 1 coin to build a ship with, and then I did like a dungeon shooter, like a run and gun sort of thing, with a border down style difficulty mechanic, and then I did Red Entity. So it was just a bunch of jam games basically.
Yeah. And then Blue Revolver was made with Love 2D in Lua, right?
Damn right, it was made with love.
Well, there you go. It was made with love. What made you choose Love and Lua as opposed to any other backend? And what was your experience like? Would you recommend it to other developers?
Ego, hubris. Nah, I for a project like this, I really wanted to have a lot of control over the specifics of exactly how things get rendered, how things get updated, how collision works, that sort of thing. And I thought working with something like Love 2D would be great for that, and it was. You can achieve that sort of thing with pretty much anything. It's just most 2D game creation kits is just about different ways of managing the complexity. What I would recommend is just trying a few different things. So try something like Game Maker, try something like Unity, and then try something a bit sort of lower level. I'm sure if Trap15 was here, he would laugh for calling Lua low level, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So try a few different things and you'll find something that sticks with you more than others.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty in line with some of my experience. I mean, I haven't done anything anywhere near this level. Phenomenal. But, you know, I've done some stuff in Unity, some stuff in, you know, basically just Java. And you do really have to play around to find kind of what feels comfortable for you. I found when I was working in Unity making a 2.5D game, I was like writing entirely new physics from scratch, and I'm like, at that point I may as well be using something different. So let's see.
I would love
some questions.
Please buy the game so I can get one.
Hell yeah. Questions for Jamers, if you're still here, Jamers.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in testing the game?
I think it was about the time there was the 3-stage demo. Was a little scoring competition going on for that. That's all I found out about the game. And I played it. I found it very fun. Very fun to figure out the best ways to score, get the highest score. I think it was very fun. And at some point I got the highest score, I think, in that competition. I think then around sometime later I got contacted by Dumbo and Woof to maybe playtest the game some more for them, and I said sure, why not? Because I like the game quite a lot.
Yeah. So this isn't your first time being asked to playtest, right? What, if anything, was unique about working on Blue Revolver?
I think it's pretty unique to see how the game evolved over time. Like a lot of things were changed, like stage layouts were changed to make it more interesting. patterns were very changed over time. Especially because of my input, a lot of things got a lot harder.
Thanks,
And I also found a lot
gamers.
of save spots and things that were also going to get changed eventually. Like the Chulas boss. I was asked to play that Chulas boss, and I missed bombed it in like 5 minutes. And I don't think that was,
Greatest
I don't
moment
think
of
that,
shame in my life.
I don't think that was the
You're like-
intention.
I don't think I was supposed to do that. Oops. Great.
I like the second pattern of the Chulas boss also had like this giant save spot on it. Like this
It still
Hibachi save
does.
spot.
Not for long.
Like the DFK 1.0, the Hibachi save spot.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's amazing.
Infamous save spots. every good Chulas boss needs a save spot like that on the first version. But yeah,
So a question for the whole team. You guys haven't used any kind of crowdfunding for Blue Revolver, despite how popular it's been getting even prior to release. What are your thoughts about crowdfunding? And were there any points where it was challenging to work on the game because of funding, or where you considered switching to a crowdfunded solution?
I mean, in my opinion, Kickstarter or something like that is like a sort of your last resort, really. In my opinion, because there's so much, it brings in so much extra stuff to track into the project. You now have to manage this community. You have to give a lot more updates and so on. You have to deal with all the little freebies you're giving out and so on. A lot of Kickstarter projects just get buried under the weight of all that. So, I'm very keen to avoid that if possible. Was it difficult to... alongside this project, I was personally working on, contract work just to keep the lights open. Lights open? Lights on.
Lights on.
So that's part of why it took a bit longer than it would have otherwise. But, it takes as long as it needs to.
Yeah, early on working on the game, we did bring it up a few times, like, would we ever consider like crowdfunding or anything like that? And like, my thing is that I don't see the point unless like you need it. And for this project, there was nothing stopping us from doing this. So it's like, why do we need money?
Yeah.
Kickstarter has also been getting sort of like a bad reputation as it's gone along, because like there have been a lot of instances of people launching projects and then just completely abandoning them and like taking the money.
Yeah, because
So-
people are inexperienced and they don't know what they're doing. So,
Yeah.
and we're pretty much in the same boat in the sense that like this is our first project, so it's like not exactly. Neither me or Danbo were like, it's not something we wanted to do to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
But that
that's
means
great.
you guys should
there's
need to
certainly
buy
been
the
some
game.
Very high-profile failures with crowdfunding.
Yeah. Buy the
Um,
game. Buy it. October 11th. And you can buy it on Steam, yeah?
Yeah, Steam, itch.io, and direct from our website through Humble Widget. The latter two are DRM free, and you get a Steam key, so
Right.
yeah, a lot of bang for your buck there.
So the Steam version does have DRM though.
Did you hear that,
Uh,
Matthew? No DRM if you buy it.
I believe
Humble
I
Widget
don't.
site.
I think I'm sure the Windows and Linux versions don't. The OS X version might. Trying not to have it, but it just might be something I've not fully figured out yet.
Okay. Kind of finally wrapping up here. What do you see as the future of Blue Revolver? Do you have particular aspirations for the game? Like, would you like to see a lot of super plays, or have it be popular at a high level? Would you like to see an official arcade version? In some of my talks with you both, there have been hints at a possible sequel, or at least another Stellar Circle game. What can you say?
Well, I mean, obviously we'd like people to play the game and get big scores, and that'll hopefully come with online leaderboards and so on. In terms of more work we're going to do on it, that sort of thing, well, first of all, we've got another project we want to work on, like, just straight up. But also things like that are dictated by the sales we get on the game. So there's no way we could do something like an arcade release without a lot of sales, you know?
Yeah. Well,
People
buy
keep
the
bugging
game.
me about like a console release, but it's probably not going to happen.
Remember when people were asking for an Oculus release? Not Oculus.
What?
What was it called? What was it called?
Oh, fuck. Ouya.
An Ouya.
Ooh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
God.
like, when is this gonna get an Ouya port? Like,
I-
dude, please,
Well,
stop.
hey, just tell people don't pirate the game. Like, if you want to see it go further.
Yeah.
I was fucking about with shaders one day, and I came out with like a shader that would have a Virtual Boy palette, and I posted it on Twitter saying like, "Oh, Blue Revolver coming for a Virtual Boy," and like this forum of Virtual Boy psychos came up and said, "Wow, you're actually doing this? Holy shit!" And then I said, "No, actually, very sorry." And they said, "Oh, I could feel the dissatisfaction there." And I'm so sorry I let those guys down.
Virtual Boy of all things.
Virtual Boy.
That would have been something.
Oh, man.
Game
Yeah, like,
over.
There's this. I'm just happy to get this game like finished. If people like it, that's great. If people draw fan art, that's even better. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But
Yeah, fan art.
ultimately, I
there-
want to move on to our next project.
There's going to be fan art, trust me.
I guess at some point we'll be able to talk about it whenever you can actually get started on it.
Can you
But,
give us a?
I guess that won't be till like towards like the end of the year or
Oh,
something.
okay. Can you just give us a one-word, maybe sneak preview here for STG Weekly on that? What that project would be?
One word.
One word from Dambo and one word from Woof.
Damn, can go first.
Tower.
I'm not gonna do one word. Fuck that. Valerie. Well, the next game I want it to take place before Blue Revolver, and I want it to be about Valerie. So she'll be the playable character only.
Wow! Amazing!
All right.
You damn.
Well, there we go.
Dang, you heard it here first on STG Weekly. Little preview. So guys, buy this game. Buy it. Buy more copies. Buy it on 3 websites.
Oh, not if you don't want to. I mean, I don't want to take people's money hand over fist.
Well,
Or just generously donate it.
yeah. Give it to friends. Give it to enemies. Give it to your
On
parents.
a damn soundtrack.
Yeah, get the soundtrack. It's so fresh. So fresh.
All right. So a couple kind of fun things to round this out. And by the way, chat, if you have questions, start kind of posting them now so that I can read them in the next couple minutes. So who's your favorite character in the game?
I like Ira, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. She looks
Uh,
like. I'm not gonna say.
Which one is she?
Ira's a stage 4 boss.
Oh yeah, okay.
My favorite character is, well, I like everybody, but Valerie is definitely my favorite. This is a very old character of mine.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Valerie seems kind of tsundere. Is she tsundere?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely like May and Val a lot myself. I do think I'm leaning more towards Valerie, but May's ending is hilarious. So yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad you find it funny. I was like, when I was working on it, I was like, I find something like this very funny, but I wonder what other people think. So I'm glad other people got the same impression.
Yeah. What is your favorite moment in the game?
The stage 3 bit after the mid boss. Yeah, that was the pit where it all like something clicked in the game, and I thought this has some potential right here. Like the music just came together with everything, and it felt very good to see that working.
Originally, it was stage 3 for me too, but I like the entirety of stage 5. The mood and the ambience of it, and the designs of the enemies, the bullet patterns and stuff. I think it's really cool.
All right, and the most important question, which is asked in every STG Weekly developer interview, for reasons I cannot even explain. What is your favorite kind of pizza?
Potato.
I
No, it's a serious
egg.
answer.
Egg.
Egg pizza.
It's a
You-
thing.
Like over easy eggs on pizza? Like
Yeah.
that? Oh.
Sounds yummy, actually.
That actually
Ooh.
sounds pretty good.
I
You
actually
said
said that
potato.
to be a funny troll, but actually I'm hungry now, so I would eat that.
It's real and it's good.
And we had potato. Was
Alright.
that regular potatoes or sweet potatoes?
Just regular potatoes. It's pretty good. Like, I've had it.
Ooh. Maybe I'll try a potato egg pizza. Ooh, yeah.
I like mushrooms on my pizza.
I am a big mushroom fan too.
All right, we got a couple questions from the chat.
Sure.
When will there be a Steam store page?
We are working on getting the trailer all finished and done. Probably you'll see the Steam store page next week sometime.
All right, sometime next week, maybe.
Someone
Oh,
also
can you
asked,
can you copy and
oh, go
paste
ahead.
can you copy and paste the Twitter account so they can follow it for people in
Yeah,
the
sure.
chat? Awesome. Just throw that in there. Okay, sorry, Cream. Go for it.
Someone also asked if there's going to be a official Dakimakura.
Oh, I drew one for fun, but I could probably print it if people actually wanted it.
Ooh, yeah.
Should've
Oh,
done a
yeah.
collector's edition with that shit.
I can add it to my growing Dakimakura collection then. The F-Man wants one.
Don't worry, it's safe for work.
So, yeah, I was actually going to ask, is there going to be some kind of a collector's edition or a physical release of the game? Because I remember when I'd spoken to you guys a few months ago, you had said you were kind of tossing around the idea.
It's a thing, or it's like if we don't really have a reason to do it.
Yeah.
It,
It'd be
besides,
something
oh, look
just
at this.
for like real Psycho fans to get. And you know, that's only if the opportunity presents itself. Don't count on it, basically.
Okay. Well, as a Psycho fan, I would enjoy it.
Me too. It's hard. It's hard to make those.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of. It's a
So
lot
Still got a
Guys-
lot of stickers. I can send you some of those if you want.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you get snaps of hot naked babes when you get big scores?
Play it, buy the game and find out.
Buy
Yeah.
the game and find
I
it.
can tell you, there's some really awesome guest artwork that you can unlock.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, there is some really great guest art. Let's see. A couple questions about price, which has not been decided yet. Why a French version?
Why a French version?
Yes. is
Well, France.
question.
Well,
The
France.
French shmup.
yeah,
the
French
French
shmup
shmup
war.
French
big.
French shmup scene is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
I remember. Do you remember that old French documentary? It's not old, but like
Oh,
I saw that. I was
yeah.
like, holy shit! French people watch this on TV and they talk about the non-patch and stuff like that.
yeah.
Sprinting down the street to see my French friend and have him translate it for me.
That would
He
be
just said,
awesome.
Cool.
We're talking about video games. I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah,
our
then-
friends. Shout out to our friends in the French Shmup forum. Team Super Play. Great guys.
Yeah.
Great girls. Yeah.
Prom, yum, you guys rock. Anyway, someone's asking how many announcements there are. There are 4 currently. Momobako, I don't remember her name.
Now you can use it.
Yeah. And then Rock King and who else?
Akinola.
Oh,
Akinola Verissimo, I think, is his
Yep.
the full handle. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Cool. Rock King is. If you play Doom, you've probably heard of him.
Yeah.
I play Doom. Come talk to me about Doom. Yeah, I'll teach you a few things.
But we have. I like to leave the number at 4 because we have 2 female announcers and 2 male announcers. Nice
Yeah.
little number.
He just doesn't want me to be an announcer. It's just how it's gonna be, basically.
You would ruin the evenness.
I still think you should be unlockable.
I could do a male and a female one.
Yeah, Dambo, can we hear your female voice?
Boom, got you. Boom goes dynamite.
I
Yeah.
don't like the
Make it
number 5
happen.
or the number 6.
So the real STG Crispy asks, any tips or advice for aspiring shmup devs?
Hold on, is that the real Sergeant Crispy?
Yes.
I would say for aspiring shmup devs, decide early on a level format, because each level in Blue Revolver uses a different format and it drives me up the fucking wall. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Apart from that, for any indie team, it's just find people to work with, because you will not. The chances of you doing something by yourself are drastically lower, basically. In my opinion, anyway. I can't do art to save my fucking life, can I?
I just feel like staying motivated when it's just you is impossible.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
But see, that's what I meant earlier. Like when you say you can't do art, that's just a sign that your art's great.
My art ain't great.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry for
placeholder-
laughing, but
Dude, his placeholder assets for the game, I wish people could see them because they were so cool looking. Like, he took the assets from our last project and he Frankenstein like player ships and stuff together.
We should do
Like,
that.
he took,
Unlockable. Do I
one
hear
of the enemies in our
unlockable?
last game was a robot and it was a mech basically, and he took the arms for the mech and he mirrored them and turned it into a ship, and it looked pretty damn cool. I'd say it looks cooler than half the stuff in this game.
Gotta make that an
That's great,
unlockable.
actually, the kind of the Frankenstein aesthetic. There's even a shoot 'em up that does that. What is the name of it? It used like pictures of old steampunk like machine like old patent drawing things to make this like steampunk black and white thing, and then they would jam them all together into these crazy like gothic architecture looking spaceships. I don't remember what the game was, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, will the Steam version have trading cards? I remember I was talking to you guys about this earlier.
probably not at launch. Well, it's probably not at launch, but quite shortly after, I imagine.
Okay. And you are planning Steam achievements as well.
Yes.
Someone in the chat has a question I'd like to answer. If that's okay.
Sure.
Someone's asked, Generic Zero asked, how do you justify playable Valerie when all the enemies are Blue Revolver ships? And are you going to take the easy way out and make everything a dream sequence or something? Well, rather than answering your question directly, let me tell you something. When the public demo for the game came out, only May was playable, right? And I got a lot of feedback asking for playable Valerie for some reason, even though she's a boss. And adding Valerie as a playable character was a last-minute decision, and that's my answer.
Buy the game and find out, yeah?
Yeah, buy the game. buy the
game.
game. So definitely, Wolf, if you go to EVO next year, you and the F-Man need to hang out, and yeah, we'll do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hope I meet you sometime, man.
Hell yeah.
We're just never at the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, I think that about wraps it up. I don't think there was any outstanding questions from chat. Frenetic, Cream, Jamers, Aquas, do you guys have anything you want to add?
Nope.
I'm cool.
All right.
Just
a question about Blombicar.
yeah.
Yes, it was inspired heavily by Blombicar.
I love Blombicar.
Who doesn't?
Then any closing comments?
Guys, buy this
we
game.
Really hope you. We hope you really like the game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Buy the game. Play it. Draw fan art. Make me happy.
Draw fan art of the bullet patterns, please.
Yeah, do that too.
And also draw some.
Yeah, there's not enough bullet fan art.
Yeah, bullet fan art. Woo.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and thank you everyone who's watching for bearing with us. We had some technical difficulties. this
Yeah,
morning,
basically I had to
but
do the
we
layout and all
hopefully-
the stuff for the video. Oh my god, it was crazy. But that's the behind the scenes at STG Weekly here. We do it because we love you guys. And you guys on Shmups, Video Game Generals and 4chan, we love you too. So it's okay. And I still collect RPGs and Shmups. And that's what made this show happen, kind of. Yeah!
All right. Woo! Too much information. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much, Dumbo and Wolf, for coming on. Thank you, Jamers.
Thank you.
It was good to have you back.
Thanks for having us.
This game is fantastic. I cannot wait for it to come out. Yeah.
Yeah, so be tuned. Even though this was episode 100, which is a very special episode, we're going to have a STG Weekly retrospective episode where we're all going to chill on stream and just like talk about favorite moments of STG Weekly. Here's your chance for maybe just a question and answer, just hang out and chill, and it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for it.
Yeah, I'm looking
STG
forward to that.
Weekly retrospective episode. Man, 100 episodes. Not
It's
including
unreal.
the awesome game replays ones that we've done. What a launch.
Yeah, that's
I should
that's not
actually get
including
those going
AGR,
again.
That's not including streams from events. So that doesn't count AX or ALA or Stunfest or anything. Yeah, we've done more than that, actually.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll get some webcams. Maybe you can see some of our staff like scantily clad or something where you can like donate or something. I don't know.
Whoa, speak for yourself there.
What?
Oh my god.
What? Come on, guys. All right. Anyways, okay? Just talk to us in the Discord, and we'll take your requests. F-Man's here to please all of your viewers.
And on that note, STG Weekly episode 100 signing off. Thank you all so much.
Later.
Bye bye.